Superman and Batman Generations. Book 2, 1959 to 1969. 1959. Strange Days. I am definitely getting too old for this kind of thing. Alright, enough moaning. It's 30 minutes since that building came to life. Just be thankful no one has been killed yet. This is as close as I dare get. Really. Ellie Bat set to hover mode. To hover. Been a while since I tried a stunt anything like what I have in mind. But the only way I can deal with this insanity is to treat that walking warehouse as though it really is alive. And try to break it like I would a bronco. Well, now I've seen everything. Batman is riding that thing like a bad cowboy. It's working. The thing is coming down. Batman, you did it. Maybe Commissioner or maybe my little friend just got tired of his game. Alright, Batmite, your signature is all over this. Show yourself. You got the right idea, Batty boy. Just the wrong imp, oh no. At that moment, miles from Gotham City in Metropolis, no, Superman, no. Put the freighter down. Looks like it's working, Olsen. Yes, the mental helmet Superman brought back from Planet X is able to penetrate the madness brought on by his exposure to red kryptonite yesterday. Good thing he spent most of the last 24 hours underwater, walking here from England. You're right. It has been 24 hours. What's exactly 24 hours since Brainiac sprayed the red K trap? Spraying the red K trapped Green Lantern has already captured the marauding alien and that the effects of the decay should be ending right about now. And since every exposure to red kryptonite produces a unique reaction, that's the last to heal we'll see of the supergiant of Metropolis. Uh-oh. Uh, oh, thank heaven. The suburban metropolis, home of the Kent family. Mommy, look. Not now, honey. I was watching the news about report about Superman, and so it seems yet another threat to the Man of Steel has been overcome, in no small part due to the prompt action of daily reporter James Olsen. It sure looks so that way. Uncle Jimmy helped out Superman again. Mommy. It sure looks that way, honey. Now what it was it you wanted to show me? My feet, mommy, look at my feet. What's wrong with them, sweetie? They look fine to me. But they are not touching the ground. Oh no. Thanks, Jim. That's one more I owe you. It's nothing, Superman, after all. The times you've pulled my fat out of the fryer, I just say I still owe you. Well, after today, I'm prepared to call us even, Jim. That's just great, Mr. Superman. Now you can help me, Batmite. Well, back in Gotham. Alright, McSixpedic, what's your game? Superman isn't here for you to pester. Careful, Batman. From what I've read, if you get this guy mad, he could turn us all into kangaroos or something. How staggeringly, grimly unoriginal. That's just the sort of poetry thing one of you humans would do if you had the power of my dimensional brain. Spare us the insult, McSixpedic. Why are you here, simple Batman? Bat-brain, I'm having a contest with a certain little friend of yours. A contest to prove who my superhero is better than his. What? Stop this at once and tell me why you're here instead of bothering Batman. I I don't bother Batman, Mr. Superman. I help him. I'm as much his partner as Robin was. But I'll answer your question yesterday. I was in my own dimension, minding my own business, when suddenly, hey, where am I? Flying around, I quickly discovered that I was inside an alien spaceship, and that I was not alone, Mr. Mixie Spidlick. Might, is this your doing? Return me to the fifth dimension at once. He cannot do that. It was not the one you call Batmite who transported you to our ship, Mixie Spidlick. We did that because we need your help. Help? Why should I want to help you? What's it in it for me? And why you? Our names would have no meaning to you, but we are seekers from fourth planet of a star that things called Uplands Epsilon Arcadian. Ours was a peaceful planet, a, a high culture which had long since set aside the ways of war and of violence. Sadly, that was to be to prove our undoing, as one day there appeared in the skies above our world the space armada of the Briton Empire. We sent our ambassadors up to the flagship of the Armada to extend the hand of peace to these newcomers. The Britons had no interest in anything we had to say to them. As the ambassadors looked on in horror, a terrible affray was unleashed against our capital city. And then the ambassadors were killed. My own father was one of those ambassadors. Within days, our civilization had been crushed under the Bhutan foot. The people were herded into slave labor camps. Those who did not succumb to an even worse fate. But even in those darker days, there was pockets of resistance. Self-resistance. Searching the heavens with stolen technology, we learned of Earth and of the beings, Earthlings called superheroes. We knew what we knew what had to be done. Using every scrap of technology we could steal from the Bhutans or tons, we built a small spaceship. It took years to complete the task. With limited fuel, only two of us could go on this mission of hope. And eluding Bhutan fighters on the frontier cost us dearly. By the time we were clear of the attack and about to activate our jump engines, we had consumed so much fuel we knew we could only carry back only one Earth hero to rescue our world. Studying the Earth, studying the Earth more closely from orbit, we decided that the two greatest heroes were Superman and Batman. One had great powers, one had great courage and cunning. But we needed to test them to see which would best suit our needs. There is no need for a test. Batman is the greatest hero ever. Sees you, you don't think I'd waste my time tormenting Superman if he wasn't the best there is. Yes, from our studies, we realize each of you would think thus, and that your powers would make you the perfect test. Shall we begin? Not so fast. Not so fast, Chrome. Dome. I'll buy you this alien technology was able to pluck Batmage and me from our dimensions. But that still doesn't tell me what I have to gain by helping you. Don't be so selfish, Mrs. Bidlick. I'd be proud to help prove Batman is the greatest hero, even if these people didn't need help. Yeah, well, you always were an annoying goody do-gooder at a bit, but I wanted to get one thing straight. If I prove to you that Superman is the greatest, you take him away. Yes, we will transport the winner to our home on the other side of the universe. Yeah. Yeah. It would take Superman centuries to fly back from that far away. Okay, I'm in. I'll use my magic to prove Superman is the best. And I'll show you it's Batman who's the greatest champion. Well, thank you. But there is a condition we must impose. We realize each of you will wish to see his own chosen hero win. So each of you must test the other's champion. I see, but there's a tiny flaw in this scheme, isn't there, Batmite? What if Batman and I don't want to be tested? Sorry, Mr. Superman. You don't have a choice. Any choice. Oh no, he's brought to life the monster from that movie billboard. Mommy, I'm scared. It's okay, Kara. There's nothing to be afraid of. But why am I floating? My jewel never floated. That's because your brother was exposed to cold kryptonite radiation while he was still in my womb. He was born a normal human being, but you, my little, are half Kryptonian. Which is why you needed this. Here it is. This should take care of your problem, honey. Good, it's all pretty, mommy, but what is it? A special jewel that will put you back on the ground. Again, Kara, but you must promise you won't ever take it off or tell anyone why you're wearing it. Okay, alright, thanks. You're welcome. Clark created that amulet for me to wear while pregnant with Kara. It emits red radiation that mimics the effect of a red sun. It prevented Kara from developing powers while she was still inside me. Now it will let her lead something like a normal childhood, young Master Bruce. Are you down here? Over here, Alfred. Oh my goodness, young Master Bruce, what are you doing? Nothing really. I just thought I'd try this on for size. After next year, I'll be the same age Uncle Dick was when he became Robin. True enough, young master, but those were different times. Children still labored in the mines or worked in the sweatshops. No one thought very much about 10-year-old crime fighter, especially not my dad. And I know Mom doesn't want me to even think about becoming Robin. I'm at least 18, but Uncle Dick quit being Robin when he was 19 to leave us and go to college. And now he is a lawyer in New York, fighting crime in a different way. My dad never talks about that much, but it really hurt him. Uncle Dick left, didn't it? Yes, he had always thought, as I did, I must admit, that a day would come when Dick would take over as Rodman, and I might yet, Alfred. Uncle Dick, Master Dick, you should have let us know you are coming and ruin the surprise. But what brings you back, Master Dick? Dare we hope? No, not quite ready to become Batman just yet. Bruce is still became just yet. Alfred still has a few active years left in him, I think. But the things were slow in the DA's office in Manhattan, so I thought I'd take a few days off to visit her. Where is Bruce, by the way? We're not sure, Uncle Dick. Dad left early this morning. A call from Commissioner Gordon. We haven't heard from him since then. Makes this bit like plays rough. At least Bat might think he's on my side. Part of the problem is that Mix is used to dealing with Superman, so he keeps conjuring threats that require superpowers to deal with them. Then, since I don't have a Superman's bag of tricks, I'll have to improvise. He's not too much for you, is he, Mr. Superman? I'm sure Batman could find a way to stop that monster. Batman, of course. And if Mohammed it can't come to the mountain. Hey, what are you doing? We'll take the mountain to Mohammed. But it's nothing more than a delaying tactic. Unless I find a way to stop the thing, half of Gotham will could be correct. And on top of that, tell me that isn't a tornado approaching. Hey, Batmite, what's going on here? My monster is fighting your monster. We'll have to find some other way to test our heroes. And I know just the thing. Another monster. So now if Gotham doesn't get crushed in, we'll get burned to the ground. Maybe I can, hey. Yes, of course, a brilliant solution. Hey, where is Batman going? He's running away. Ha 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 ha. So much for your big hero, Batmite. No, Batman, don't run. You forgot to find a way to defeat Mixie Spitlick. Like a monster. But right now, got you. Superman, get up, you idiot. My monster will crush you. Oh, it squashed them both. This is all your fault, Batus back. If you hadn't, let's run bring that monster, that pathetic monster of yours here. My pathetic monster? I don't see how your robot was It's so clever, mixes but like stop. The aliens, the aliens, you have proven who are the most powerful among you. We will take the two of you back to our planet. It worked. When you whispered in my ear via super ventriloquism, and I knew immediately that your plan was the best way to get rid of our little pest. Yes, I since the aliens are determined to find the most powerful, who better than Batmite and Mixie, see to fit their bill. It did get a bit hairy for a moment there, though. If you'd been a fraction of a second off, tunneling down as that monster stomped on us. Split second timing is easy with my superpowers, Batman. Batman, a lot easier than it's going to be repairing all the damage done by Mixie and Batmite's monsters. Oh well. At least for the present, things are back to normal. Joel can't. But don't be afraid, boy. I have something important to tell you. But aren't you Lex Luthor? 1969. Changing times. Washington, D.C., 2 years after the Summer of Love. Well, no way. Give peace a chance. Make no love, not war. Can't you do something about this? We could, Mr. President, but we won't. Those people have a constitutional guaranteed right to protest. They are opposed to this Asian war of yours. Then why don't you do something about that? Go over there and end the war. It's not easy. The president, this isn't World War II. The bad guys are not as clearly defined. Fine, then just leave. Just leave and remember that every American boy who dies from today on will die because you did nothing to prevent it. Now look here. Let it go, Lantern. There's nothing more we can do. I wish there was something we could do. I wish it was more clear cut. You more than any of have asked Clark, have you heard from Joel? Not in nearly 2 weeks now, and his platoon was been missing for 5 days. If I could just fly there, I know I could find them in a matter of minutes, if they're still alive. But Joel made you promise you'd let him do his service on his own. He was a lot, he has a lot to prove to himself, being Superman's son. Yes, and I still have no idea how he found out Lois and I were so careful, but it's been 10 years already, almost 10 years. Enough about my troubles, though. What about Bruce Jr.? Is he still insisting on servicing? Yes, he says he doesn't see how it would be right to let Bruce use his influence to keep him out of the draft. Another week and he'll be leaving for basic training. And I'll become the second Batman to lose his Robin. There's nothing I can do, old friend. Alfred Penny, Thaddeus Crane Pennyworth, 1886 to 1967. No friend more faithful. And there's nothing I should do. My son is right. He must follow the dictates of his own conscience. As you have always done, sir. There you are. I was beginning to think you might not come this time. You know I will always be here when you need me, sir. And you'll never call me anything but sir or Master Bruce, will you, Alfred? Never just Bruce. But then that the Alfred I remember would never do such a thing, would he? And you are still convinced that what I am, your memories of me? I don't think about it as much as I used to, older friend. It's enough that you come when I need you, and you and always say what I need you to hear, and not always you were quite resistant when I said the time had come for you to pass on the cape and cowl of the Batman. The Batman. You're the only one who still uses the definitive article, Alfred. My fault, I guess. I feel too many charity balls and library openings. People got used to seeing Batman. They forgot to be scared of him. More than enough in the world for them to be scared of, Master Bruce. What the people need now more than ever is a rock they can depend on, which is why they needed a young and vigorous Batman. Yes, you were absolutely right about that. And Dick was right too. Try to convince people he's the same. Continuity is important. A sense of history and tradition. Quite so, sir. But when does the young Master Bruce leave now? Leave now. My, in 2 days, he and Dick are out on what's likely to be his last case as Robin right now, and I need to get back to the cave in case they call in. Thanks again, Alfred. Always my pleasure, sir. And if you would, try to think of me less as of a hallucination. And more as a faithful family retainer who will not leave until he knows his task is truly done. He's no son of mine, no matter what he says. What he says. Unlike you, I never had time for offspring. Yet he has all your tricks down pat, Joker. If you didn't sire him, I'd bet you good money you'd trained him. Trained him. Trained him well enough to have successfully eluded a capture for almost 4 years now. Yes, better than I ever did. Makes me wish he was my son, but he is not, and neither is he my protege. I'm too old for the sporting life now, Batman, and when I die, my legacy will die with me. That doesn't sound like you, Joker. That doesn't sound like you, Joker. I'd never have thought of you as the type to give up. Something isn't kosher here, Dick. I can just feel it. Feel it. I know I have the same feeling myself, Bruce. Talking to the Joker was a last-ditch effort. I'm not sure what I expected to learn. I was halfway convinced we'd find him gone, that he'd busted out and was coaching Joker Jr. And you know, the thing that kills me the most is being constantly hoodwinked by someone with such a goofy name. Part of his psychopathy, I think, Robin, a little something to keep up. He's constantly underestimating him. I'm sorry, Mrs. Kent. I'm afraid that there can be no doubt. Can you? Can, sir, of course. How long have I got? Now, Mrs. Kent, there's really no reason to take such a gloomy attitude with the medical advances we have today. Today, I can prolong my suffering for years. I'm serious, doctor. How long? Every case varies. There's no way to know. To be sure, it could be years with therapy, with a potential remission. And it could be months or even weeks, right? Okay, time to get to my house in order. Thank you, doctor. You say that as if we want to be seeing each other again, Mrs. Kent. We probably won't, Doctor. Mom. When shall I schedule another appointment, Mrs. Kent? You want Margaret? Come on, Kara, honey, I need a ride home. I couldn't help overhearing. Of course not. You may have only half your powers and abilities, but that still puts you far above those of mortal men or women. I've gotten used to having secrets from you. You're not really going to give up, are you? Dad and I could scour the universe for a cure. No, your father tried it for that years ago. He found 100 worlds with cures for 1,000,000 diseases, none of which worked on human physiology, just like he was unable to give Joel and me the same powers you and Clark have. But Mom, you can't just die. Sure I can, honey. Everything does After all, and let's face it, I should have learned a big lesson when those cigarettes finally killed your Uncle Perry. Now, please, sweetie, I don't want to talk about it. I just want to go home. Where the hell is he? And where the hell are we? In deep trouble is where we are, Dooley. We crossed the border more than 18 years ago, 18 hours ago. But the lieutenant says we didn't arrive. Rogers, he says we're still on the Nime side. Like he's gonna say anything else. Yeah, well, wherever we are, Ken's up in now. Neither he didn't find what he was looking for, or it found him. Luckily, can be back across the border again in less than 12 hours if we go non-stop. I vote to turn back. I'll take the under consideration. Smith. The moment that the army becomes a democracy. Lieutenant Kent, man, are we glad to see you. Speak for yourself, Carter. Look, sir, we're way off our patrol and way out of our line here. If Charlie catches us, it'll be like we just fell off the earth. Rogers is being a bit blunt, sir, but he's saying what we're all thinking. I don't know why you brought us across the border, but we gotta go back with a Congo base just the other side of that bridge. Maybe you've forgotten what we're here for, Corporal. No one's forgotten anything, but our job isn't to hunt Charlie anywhere other outside the now. That's where you're wrong, Jackson. Our job is to find and kill the enemy, and if we take out the base, we'll do that. And save thousands of American lives in the process. That's a Congo base. It's a lousy village, nothing but women and children and old men. What did you expect, Jackson? A red Chinese flag, portraits of Noah, Ho Chi Minh. The Congo are here. And if we delay any longer, they'll know we're here. we're here. Now let's do what we came here to do. That's all of them, Lieutenant. All the survivors. Where are the rest? Where are the young men? There aren't any, sir. No men at all except this old guy. This old guy. Then he'll have to tell us where the others are hiding before they can ambush us. Well, old man, where are they? Where are the Kong fighters? I said where? Where? Geez, sir, take it easy. He's just an old man. Hands off, Carter. Or have you decided to turn on me like the rest of these cowards? Nobody's turning on it. Nobody's, Lieutenant. But you were wrong about this village. And now we better get out of here before somebody finds out we slaughtered non-combatants. You've been smoking too much of the local flora, Jackson. There's no such a thing as a non-combatant on the other side in this war. But you're right about one thing. We can't leave these alive. I've to report to their commie masters. Sir, what are you going to do? He's not gonna do nothing, Carter. He's already done too much. It just seems like the only way I can crack this case is by being at two places at once. Well, why not then? I've got this collapsible bat suit in my utility belt. Maybe this is the emergency we were thinking of when we asked Barry Allen to help us create it. And you know I've got the bat voice down pat. Yes, perfect. But we can't afford to have two Batmen seen more than place at a time. No, that would destroy the illusion that I'm the only original Batman, and even the Joker seems to believe that. Joker, he's definitely up to something. You're not the only one whose sixth sense is been tingling deck. But a division of forces seems like the only answer. Robin, you go back inside to the Rock Island and see what you can shake out of the Joker's tree. Tree. I'll follow up with the latest lead on Joker Jr. This one is definitely too easy. Joker Jr. Jr.'s noted to the PD said he was going to pay a visit on an old lady of many faces who'd recently had a facelift. Commissioner McKinnon guessed that meant that Jr. was planning to have Betty Crawford, the Hollywood actress, staying at the Gotham's Plaza, a woman well known for her plastic surgery. But at the Gotham Diamond Exchange building underwent massive renovations over the last 2 years, and I'm betting this is the facet or the lady Junior was means. I pulled a schematic of all the renovations from the Bat computer linked to the Gotham Library. Most of what was done was strictly cosmetic, but there were one or two additions to the security systems that Joker Jr. may not know about. I would not have found out about them myself, but for my knowledge of all the security codes on the library computers, and that means I can enter the building by ways not open to Junior, and be pretty sure I know which way he'll be most likely to make his egress. You realize this is most unorthodox. We prefer not to have the prisoners disturbed after lockdown. I appreciate that, Warden Charles, but it's absolutely vital we check on the Joker. We check on the Joker right now. Right now. Well, there you'll see the Joker. Joker is still safe and sound in his cell. I assure you, Robin, there is no way he could have escaped from this maximum security wing in the 100 years this prison has been in service. No one ever has. that was a sentry without having to deal with the Joker, sir. Open the cell, please. Very well, but I should warn you, I intended to launch a formal protest with Commissioner McKinnon as soon as his office opens in the morning. Warden, in all honesty, I hope you'll have a reason to launch that protest. But it doesn't look like you will. Oh my. Hey, what's that? Don't touch it. It could be a booby trap. There's some kind of shelf under the table. Looks like a Joker has a little hiding place. Here's a prison uniform. Jars of Cowl makeup, including spirit gum for attaching a fake beard or wig. And what's this? Looks like a blueprint. That's just what it is. A blueprint of the Diamond Exchange building. But this shows all kinds of stuff that wasn't on the plans Batman acquired. Stuff that means Batman is in deadly danger, but what about Joker? Looks like I'm early. No sign that Joker Jr. has made his move yet. With these infrared goggles, I can see all the security beams crisscrossing the room. They spin in an impenetrable web around the centerpiece of this exhibit, and the stone that is almost certain to be Junior's target. Now all I need to do is conceal myself in the spot I previously selected and the floor. Some kind of trap door. It wasn't on the plans, but this shaft is narrow enough for me to brace myself against the walls. Razor sharp blades. I can't hold on. Shaft getting narrower. Blades are cutting me to ribbons. Look, that slowed what would have been a fatal fall. But bleeding heavily. Some of those cuts went all the way to the bone. You might say I boned up on your weaknesses, Betsy. Junior, congratulations. It might have taken years to set up mm, the, this scheme. Almost 10 years, beginning with using my ill-gotten gains to create a dummy corporation to purchase the Diamond Exchange building. 10 years, but that's 6 years longer than Joker Jr. has been around, at least longer than you've been operating in Gotham. Don't strain your brain, Bat Boob. It's going to get hard enough to work that particular grill organ as it is. After all, I coated those blades with a neat little cocktail of hallucinogen poison. Which should be kicking in right about now. It'll take more than that to stop me, Joker. Think so? The loss of blood alone would be enough to make you woozy. Add that to all the goodies I've prepared for you here, and I don't think your arrogance is going to do you much good. For tipping, or is it the drugs? What in giant pies couldn't let our last encounter pass without a few oversized props? Now could I bet Chump? Manger Jew attacking me and taking me. That's the way. That's the way, Betty. I have no idea what you think. think you're seeing? But I'll bet my best gag it has nothing to do with the real threat. What are you standing around out here for? When I radioed in, then I told you Batman was in danger. We know Robin, but all the security codes have been changed. We can't get into the building. Oh goodness, listen. Machine guns, according to the plans in the Joker's cell. That's the last trap. If that trap has been sprung, No, I mustn't think that way. No matter what the Joker did, Batman would find a way to. Batman spread out and be ready. No telling what traps Joker John has laid out. None for you, boys in blue. Put away the pop guns, children. All come quietly. I've accomplished my work. What are you talking about, Junior? No, more Junior if you don't mind. I wasn't lying when I told Batman I never had or trained a protege. I am the Joker, and I am the man who just killed Batman. Such a simple, wonderfully simple plan it was, too. Once I discovered how easy it was to get off and on Rock Island, what a better hiding place for a wanted criminal than a prison. You really killed Batman? No, as usual, Joker, he's lying. He didn't kill Batman, he killed Robin. Epilogue. It's not at all the way I envisioned this scene, Alfred. Somehow I always knew I'd be standing on this hillside with you, watching a warrior being led to rest. But you thought that warrior would be me, and that I'd be a ghost like you. What about Dick, Alfred? Is he alright? I'm afraid I cannot say, sir. The Dick's spirit has gone to a place other than the one familiar to me. But after a life so full of courage and compassion, yes, he'll be at peace now. That's all that really matters. You'll understand, don't you? Okay. Kara. It's not my feelings for you that have changed. I know you have to be Batman now, and Batman very rarely has a time for love, for I love life, or in his life, for in his life. Sometimes he does, Kara. Forgive me for intruding, but I couldn't help overhearing. Son, don't let this burden destroy a chance for happiness. You are young. There is time yet before you must become Batman. Is there that? Is there that? The need for Gotham City to have a guardian is not going to wait while I grow into the role. I may be 10 years younger than you were when you created the Batman, but you're every bit as prepared as your father was. You'll make a fine Batman, Bruce. Thanks, Clark, and thanks for coming. I know Dick be would have appreciated it. We were honored to have invited us. You invited us. I pity Mrs. Wayne wouldn't come. I'm afraid she never forgave Dick for letting BJ become his Robin so young. It's a long-standing bone of content at Wayne Manor. But what about your military service, BJ? You can't be Batman and fight in Vietnam, no. And as long as Gotham is Gotham, the former will be more necessary than the latter. I guess I'll have to let you use your influence to get me that aviation. After all, Dad, don't be sad, Carrot. BJ loves you. I can tell by the look in his eyes. Finish college like you planned, and by then, maybe the world will be ready for a Batman and Zuko team. You're right, Mom. But then, you usually are. Why don't you lie down for a while, honey? You seem tired. Oh, look, someone slipped a telegram the through the letterbox. Maybe it's finally some good news about Joel. Mr. and Mrs. Kent, 20 Wellington Avenue, from War Department, Washington, D.C., September 26th. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. 26. It is with great regret that we inform you your son, Joel Perry Kent, was reported killed in action, September 13th. September 13th, 1969. Mercenary offered General of the Army.